All right, so this is how you're going to stop 30 to 40% of collections from ever reaching your credit report. Now, the way that you're going to be able to do this is by utilizing what they call a dead-end period, which is also referred to as a debt validation period. It's in reference to collection agencies. The dead-end period basically gives you 30 days from the time that you've been notified that you owe a collection to request a debt validation letter. Understand that this is provided by the FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collectors Practice Act. It states that within 5 days of initial contact, the collection agency must send a validation of debt letter. Since it's 5 days from contact, whether it be a phone call or a letter that you receive stating that you owe this debt, this is when you counterpunch them and you request them to send a debt validation letter. Collection agencies are not allowed to send any information to a credit bureau on a new collection account without properly verifying that debt. So understand that these 30 days are imperative and it's for you to contest it before it hits your credit report. Understand that 30 to 40% of these accounts cannot be validated. The reason being is because collection agencies, they purchase your debt in bulk. They receive a spreadsheet with numerous account numbers and limited contact information, and this is exactly why they decide to call you and ask you these self-verifying questions so that you can just physically just verify your account over the phone. This is why they say, hey, what's the last four of your social, what's your date of birth, and can you confirm your address? You're giving them this information so that if it's not concurrent to what they currently have, they're going to update it. So you want to express that you only want communication, written communication only. They may have a copy of your bill. Don't be alarmed if they send you a copy of your bill. Understand that just a copy of a bill is not sufficient validation of the account. And we'll get into that while we go into the letters that I have that I formulated for you guys. These are letters from the dispute kits that I sell, and I have a variety of different letters that just touch every different scenario that you're going to face in the credit repair process. So we'll get into that really briefly. But prior to doing that, I want you to understand that this letter that you're going to send has to be certified. Reason why you're going to send it certified is because you're going to need to hold them to a timeline. So you're going to need some receipts, especially a receipt from the recipient as soon as they receive it so you can start your countdown. You don't want to sign your signature. You don't want to send your ID. Again, this is a collection account. They have limited information. Do not give them more than they need. Now, if you don't respond within these 30 days, understand that you are giving them the green light to just add this to your credit profile. So you definitely want to, as soon as you get that notification, jump into this debt validation or dead period. So let's get into the letter. So this is the letter. This is how it's composed. Your header is your information, the collection agency's information. Last for your social security number and reference the account number that you are disputing. It simply states, I'm responding to your contact about the debt you are trying to collect. You contacted me by specify if it's phone or mail and specify the date and identify this alleged debt. Please supply the information below so that I have all information. Again, we are saying that a bill is a form of validation, but it's not sufficient enough. So this is what we're asking for. We're asking for the name and address of the creditor to whom the debt is currently owed, the account number used by that creditor, and the amount owed. If this debt started with a different creditor, provide the name and address of the original creditor, the account number used by that creditor, and the amount owed at the creditor at the time it was transferred. It's very imperative you request the original account number. A lot of collection agencies, they generate their own generic account number for you, and that's not what we want. We want the official account number that was issued by the original creditor. When you identify the original creditor, please provide any other name by which I might know them if that is different from the official name. In addition, tell me when the current creditor obtained the debt and who the current creditor obtained it from. Provide verification and documentation that there is a valid basis for claiming that I must pay the debt to the current creditor. For example, can you provide a copy of the written agreement that created my original requirement to pay? And if you're asking I pay a debt that somebody else is or was required to pay, identify that person. Provide verification and documentation about why this is a debt that I must pay. The amount and age of the debt, including a copy of the last billing statement sent to me by the original creditor, State the amount of the debt when you obtained it and when that was. Again, they're purchasing these accounts in bulk. Half this information they are not going to have. If they fail to provide you with this information, then by law, they cannot proceed. So this is why it's very imperative you utilize this 30-day period to prevent these accounts from hitting your credit report. Understand that they do have 60 days to provide this information. If after 6 days this information has not been provided, we go with a follow-up letter. Self-explanatory. To whom it may concern, I wrote you request a validation of this alleged debt. Indicate the date you sent the first letter. And as of today, I have not heard back from you. It has been 60 days. You have failed to supply the demanded proof of the alleged debt. I want to note that under the doctrine of estoppel by silence, which I'm not going to get into right now, but if you guys wanted to research that, definitely research it. As stated before, we're utilizing the law to work in our favor. I can presume that no proof of the alleged debt, nor therefore any such debt in fact exists. I'm not going to go into the whole spill of this, self-explanatory, but understand that at the bottom, you have 15 days from the receipt of this notice to respond. Your failure to respond on point and writing, hand signing in a timely manner will work as a waiver to any and all of your claims in this matter, and will entitle me to presume that you sent this letter in error, and that this matter is permanently closed. That's it. Best regards. Drop the mic. Again, we're not adding any signatures to these letters. We're not providing any identification. So you can print your name or type your name at the bottom of the letter. It's perfectly fine, but we're not providing a signature. Now, these are just 2 letters from the whole library of letters that I have on my DIY credit repair kit, which you can purchase on dapperstature.com. Right now, it's at a rate of $25. It provides you step-by-step tutorial of how to dispute any negative items on your credit report. Step-by-step what to do in letters for different scenarios. So if you are interested, definitely visit the website, dapperstature.com. And if this is something that you feel is still overwhelming and you need some assistance, my services are available as well. Check out my rates on dapperstature.com. If you have any comments, any concerns, you can definitely reach out to me on any avenues that I have listed on this page, and I can address your questions on the next video.